In the previous episode of the entire story of the Pokemon anime, we saw Ash's adventures in Johto's territory and Team Rocket's failed attempt to capture Pikachu, leaving him gravely ill. The very leader route doesn't have its own Pokemon Center, so Ash turns to Professor Birch for help. The professor believes that Pikachu can be cured, but first, he must be caught as he ran into the forest with a high fever. Meanwhile, a girl named May goes to visit Professor Birch to receive her first Pokemon. He arrives just in time to save him from a pack of pooches who are chasing him. Before he can explain to her what is happening, he runs into the forest looking for Pikachu. Time is running out for the little Pokemon as it is in danger of getting into big trouble. However, Team Rocket accidentally heals him by using one of their machines meant to capture him. Pikachu destroys May's bike, though. I hope that reminds you of something. May chooses Torchic as her starter Pokemon and receives a Pokedex and 6 Pokeballs from Professor Birch. They and Ash decide to travel together to Oldale Town as their next destination so that Ash can enroll in Hoenn Lick. On their way, they stop at a Pokemon Center after Torchic was injured in a battle. Ash shows May around and gives her some training tips as he is now more experienced and is now to May what Brock and Misty were to him when he first started his journey. Meanwhile, Team Rocket receives a mission from Giovanni to make Team Rocket more popular in Hoenn's area in an effort to learn more about Team Magma and Aqua's plans. Ash and May arrive in Bethelberg City. They quickly head to the gym in town where they meet May's brother Max, her mother Caroline, and her father Norman, the local gym leader. He asks Norman to have a Pokemon battle for the emblem, but unfortunately he can't, as you need 3 Pokemon for this gym. He is, however, allowed to have an unofficial battle, but will quickly lose to Norman's mighty Vigoroth. Max joins the team to travel with the kids, but unfortunately he can't have his own Pokemon since he's not yet 10 years old. He does, however, receive a Pokénav from his father, while Ash and May will each receive an emblem case. Also, Norman informs them about their next destination, Rustboro City, where their first gym battle awaits them. As they travel there, Brock catches up with the group and continues the journey with them. He has left Onix, Geodude, and Crobat back in Pewter City with his brother and now only has Fortress with him, and as you can see, he has also changed clothes. Soon they will encounter a very tough Taillow. This Taillow is so tough that it withstands all of Pikachu's electric attacks to the point where Brock tells Ash to catch it because it will take a lot of damage to its health. Ash manages to catch Taillow, his first Pokemon, in Hoenn's area. Meanwhile, Team Rocket finds some cages full of Ekans and Koffings that have apparently been captured by poachers. They use Arbok and Wizzigtaus to free the weak Pokemon, and in a very touching moment, they order their original Pokemon to follow the little ones, and weak of their prejudices so as to protect them in the future. So in one of the most emotional moments of the series, Jessie and Jay Rose now travel to Rustboro City and encounter a giant tree that is slowly dying. This tree seems to be home to wild Tricos, and while most Tricos have abandoned the tree, one of them is determined to save it. Ash and Pikachu will help Trico save the tree, but unfortunately they will not succeed. But upon trying, they will become quite attached to this Trico, so after a tough fight with Pikachu, Ash will catch it and put it on his team. A little while later, Jessie will catch a Snake Viper, Brock will catch a Potion, and our heroes are now going to see a Pokemon competition for the first time. Pokemon competitions differ from battles in that it's not the power of the attack that matters, but the beauty of its execution, and winners get ribbons instead of badges. However, our friends arrive too late to participate but are willing to help Chaz and Janet, 2 determined contestants, with their preparations. Chaz offers to teach Pikachu the Iron Tail attack, but Pikachu still needs some time to perfect it. During the final competition, May becomes interested in these Pokemon competitions and becomes very thoughtful about whether she really wants to become a Pokemon trainer or moderator. As the gang continues to head towards Rustboro, May spots a Warble that she wants to catch. But she's not the only one who wants to catch this little worm. Jessie wants it too, and eventually they both manage to catch a Warble, making it the first Pokemon May ever catches on her own. Ash and his friends now finally arrive in Rustboro City and meet Roxanne, the gym leader. Ash is eager to begin his battle at the gym, but Roxanne convinces him to wait until her class field trip is over. So soon, Ash seems to be ready to face Roxanne and her rock-type Pokemon as Pikachu seems to have perfected Iron Tail. May, on the other hand, is not looking forward to the battle at all. She announces that she no longer wants to be a Pokemon trainer and wants to become a moderator and take part in competitions. So the battle begins, and Ash seems to have no hope of winning at all. Roxanne's Judute hits the trike very quickly and defeats it. Everything now depends on Pikachu, and electric attacks are not going to help against a strong rock-type Pokemon. However, Ash is very smart and obviously much more experienced than he was in previous seasons. And Pikachu not only defeats the Geodude, but also destroys Master with his newly perfected Iron Tail, combined with his speed. This gives Ash the victory, and he takes the Stone Badge, his first emblem, from Roxanne. Our friends are ready to leave Rushboro and head to Dewfort Island for Ash's next battle. But they first encounter Team Aqua on their mission to steal a new piece of technology from the famous Devon Corporation. But they will manage to stop her and now ask for a way to cross the sea to reach the island of Dewfort. May goes off on her own to find someone by boat to take them and finds Mr. Briny, a retired sailor, and his Wiggle Pico. He offers to take the gang to the island, but when she returns with Ash and the others, Briny looks very angry and says that he has no idea what he's talking about. A thug in Makua, the same one who tried to steal from the Devon Corporation, kidnapped Pico and took his boat as well. Fortunately, the children managed to save Little Wiggle, and the next day they set sail for Dewfort Island. As our friends reach the island, they meet Broly, the gym leader, and Ash will challenge him to a battle. But unfortunately for our little hero, he will lose since during the battle Broly's Makuhita evolves into a Hariyama. So Ash and his friends decide to stay on the island in order to train much harder for a rematch with Broly. While training, they will enter Granite Cave where they will meet Steven, the son of the owner of Devon Corp and one of Hoenn's strongest trainers. Ash continues his training while encountering a freaky Corphus. Brock advises Ash to catch this Corphus as it is very powerful, and he will be able to use it against Broly. However, the Corphi is too strong for Pikachu, and the Trico finally saves the day, and Ash adds the Corphi to his team. Soon after, May's Warmpole evolves into a Silkin, while Jessie's Wurmple is squished. However, she thinks she has a Silkin on her hands, while Brock manages to catch a Matkip. Brock helps Ash and his team train on the beach when they discover that Professor Birch is in the area doing research. Meanwhile, some members of Team Magma will get there by helicopter and some members of Team Aqua by submarine. The two groups meet and a brief altercation ensues between them. Selly, the leader of Team Aqua, states that the world will be much better as an ocean. On the other hand, Tabitha, the commander of Team Magma, disagrees by replying that the world will be much better if it is all on land. The two commanders try to take possession of the red and blue orb respectively, since Team Magma has the red and Team Aqua the blue. He recalls his Pokemon, saying it's not worth their time while they've gathered enough information to leave. Immediately after these events, Chilkundis May will evolve into Beautifully, while Cascudis Jessie, as expected, into Dustox. And now Ace is on his way to his second battle with Broly. He wants the Trico, which deftly dodges Machop's karate chops, but after a while, Asta calls it back and sends out Corphus, which hits Machop and defeats him. Broly will now send out Hariyama, which knocks out Corphus, and Asta will send out Trico again. This time, though, the little Pokemon will stay focused and keep hitting the same spot on Hariyama's legs until it finally defeats it. Broly is surprised at Astos trainer's progress and proudly gives him the Knuckle Badge, his second emblem for the Hoenn League. After arriving in the city of Slateport, May will participate with Beautyfly in the city's Pokemon contest. There, she will meet an ambitious coordinator, Drew, for the first time. In the second round, May will have to fight her green-haired friend who defeats her while he also loses to a Melody. It seems that May has now acquired her own rival, and although she lost in her first competition, she is ready to train hard for the next one. Askis and the gang finally arrive at the mobile gym. Upon entering their gym, he overturns a wagon which ends up in a rail mechanic. Pikachu tries to defend himself but absorbs all of the robot's electricity. The gym leader, Watson, decides to have a 3-on-3 battle. He uses his Magnemite, but Pikachu defeats him with a single electric shock. He then sends out Voltorb, which Pikachu defeats with another hit. At the end, Watson will send out Magneton, which will also be knocked down very easily by a lightning attack from Pikachu. Everyone is shocked and surprised by what happened, and Watson, in frustration, gives Ash the Dynamo badge. Ash, nevertheless, rushes Pikachu to the Pokémon Center as he appears to be sick. There he finds that he is overloaded with electricity from the Raikou incident, so he tries to give the emblem back to Watson because Pikachu won because of this overload, but he tells him to keep it as he and Pikachu really deserve it. Now the guys decide to head to Falabor Town for May's next competition and then to Lava Ridge for Ash's next gym battle. It's clear now that Ash is a much more experienced trainer, and it shows in the way he taught Trico to use the Bullet Seed attack. May is training for her next competition when Torchic finds a kitty in the bushes. May is desperate to catch it, but it is too sick to fight it. Brock leads the group to a beautiful greenhouse where the skunk can be cured with aromatherapy. After another adventure with Team Rocket, the kitty wants to follow May, so she catches it and makes it her third Pokémon. Our heroes finally make it to Falabor, and May competes in her second competition. She manages to make it to the finals, where a Medicham takes the lead until May tries a Tackle and Silverwind combo, with Beautifly defeating the Medicham and declaring May the winner, giving her her first ribbon. Our group rushes on a cable car towards Chimney Mountain, where the city of Lava Ridge was located at the top. A professor named Cosmo is on the mountain looking for a recently fallen meteorite. Team Magma and Aqua also arrive in the area looking for the same meteorite, though. They battle each other with Team Magma's Dark-type Pokémon overpowering Team Aqua's roster. Ash will meet Professor Cosmo, but Team Magma will take the meteorite and place it inside a machine designed to activate the system. While they test the machine, the professor will distract them while Ash tries to get the meteorite back. Pikachu ends up shocking both Team Magma and the machine, causing it to overload, and the professor will push the machine into the lava, destroying them both. Team Magma will be gone, but at least they know their engine is working. Team Aqua also leaves happy that Team Magma failed in their goal, while Ash and his friends will receive instructions from the professor on how to get to the lava ridges. Soon our friends will reach the city and meet Flannery, the gym leader, and after another adventure, one of her Schlagmas evolves into a Macargo. Ash uses Corphus and Flannery uses Macargo, which is attacked by Crabhammer. Ash calls back Corphus to save it for later and sends Trico hitting Schlagma hard. But it will burn, that is. Burned from the flamethrower, Asta sends the Corphus again, but the slug uses the ion attack and puts it to sleep. Pikachu enters the fray and knocks out the slug with a powerful thunder attack, but Flannery takes out the Torkoal. The Torkoal spams Iron Defense to make its defense almost impenetrable, so Pikachu can't do much damage to the Torkoal and will eventually get knocked out by the overheat attack. Asta takes out the Trico again, but he is also quickly hit by the overheating and loses. Now our hero only has one sleeping Corphus, which takes enough damage before finally waking up. To pass the iron defense, the Corphus hits the Torkoal with the Crabhammer from the side, flips it over, and then hits it with a bubble beam. After the battle and Ace's triumph, Flannery presents him with the Heat Badge, and now Ace and his friends decide to head to the city of Petalburg. On the way, Ace will catch a Torkoal of his own, while they then stop by the town of Vendertarf so May can enter the town's competition. He manages to make it to the finals, where the skunk isn't doing so well until May instructs him to use the assist attack. In the skit, she quickly manages to beat this masked guy's Disclopper, giving May her second of the 5 ribbons she needs to enter Hoenn's big tournament. After a while, Brock's Lotad evolves into a Lowbray, and Ash's Trico evolves into a Grovyle and learns the Leaf Blade attack. Our friends finally make it to the town of Petalburg, and Ash challenges the gym leader. Norman Slockoth shows off his lightning-fast reflexes, and Pikachu can't hit it. Pikachu is then immobilized by Blizzard, so Ash will trade it for Torkoal. He will manage to take out the Slockoth with a flamethrower, while in turn, Torkoal is knocked down by Vigoroth's Scratch attack. Ash sends Pikachu back, and after several hits when the two Pokémon come into physical contact, Vigoroth is paralyzed by Pikachu's static ability. He will use Iron Tail to hit Vigoroth, and eventually both Pokémon will fall and be knocked out. In the end, Grovyle confronts Norman's Slacking. Slacking manages to counter all of Grovyle's attacks and then uses Hyper Beam, dropping Grovyle's health too much. Very low on energy, though, Grovyle activates his Overgrow ability, which increases the offensive power of Grass-type moves. So with this boost, Grovyle hits Slacking again with a Pound and Leaf Blade combo and manages to defeat him. Norman awards the Balance Badge to Nash, but Maxis is so unable to accept defeat the same way his father did and runs away with the badge. Norman will give a whole sermon to Max explaining to him that the experience of losing is just as important as winning. Max returns the emblem to Nash, and they all celebrate Ash's 5th emblem together. While learning that Ash's next gym is in the town of Fortree, they decide to head there. On their way, May catches a Bulbasaur, and Ash temporarily brings his Bulbasaur from Professor Oak's lab to meet Bulbasaur. Of May, soon Ash's end will evolve, and that too during a Poker Ringer competition in order to defeat and make Ash proud. And if you thought we were done with the developments, no, because May's Torchic will also evolve into a Kabaskin. Our friends arrive in Fortress City, and Ash meets Winona, the gym leader, and challenges her to a battle. Meanwhile, Grovyle is defeated by Altaria with Leaf Blade and is now followed by Pelipper, a water and flying type, so Ash sends out Pikachu. Pelipper uses Steel Wings on the ground, turning its wing into a lightning rod, nullifying Pikachu's electric attacks. But he uses a Hydro Pump, and where there is a gap where Pelipper's wing doesn't touch the ground, Pikachu takes advantage of it, uses it as a conduit, and will defeat him with a powerful electric attack. However, the Hydro Pump did too much damage to Pikachu, who will fall straight down as well, ending the battle in a double knockout. Ash now sends out Grovyle again, which he loses to Winona's Shiny Swallow. And to counter this gorgeous shiny Ash, will cast his own Swallow. Winona's Pokémon has the advantage in this aerial duel since it has much more experience in the air, and after Ash's Swallow took a lot of hits, Ash will use Wing Attack on the ground, which will give him a chance to fight back by knocking out the opponent. Winona presents the Feather Badge to Ash in a beautiful sunset, admitting that the battle really showed Ash's confidence in his Pokémon. Ash learns that the next gym is in Moss Deep City and decides to head there via Lilycove. In Lilycove City, May participates in the local Pokémon competition. Meanwhile, Ash watches the contest from outside, continuing to teach Swallow the aerial ace move. May will manage to reach the final of the competition against a coordinator named Kelly. After a very difficult fight with Kelly's Gramping, May will think to use Fire Spin on the roof of the building, and it literally rains fire all over the room, making the opponent Gramping unable to escape. And so May will get the victory, earning her 3rd ribbon. The kids are now floating on a log thing in the sea after falling off the ship that was carrying them, when a red submarine appears below them and will soon be kidnapped by Team Magma. Its leader, Maxie, explains to them that he has the blue orb in his possession, allowing him to control Groudon. Unfortunately for them, the legendary Pokémon that Team Magma possesses is Kyogre. Team Aqua's Shelly in disguise sneaks in and unlocks the Kyogre, which wakes up and exits the floating base, destroying it, causing it to begin to sink. In the chaos, the kids try to grab the orb and Pikachu accidentally absorbs it and goes crazy. Ash is separated from his friends and is attacked by a member of Team Magma, but it is revealed that this member is actually Lance the Elite Four in disguise. Lance sends his red horn to help the rest of the friends who have fallen into the sea, and after much fighting and destruction, the two teams Magma and Aqua end up on Monshu Island. They continue to battle on the island while the red orb, which can control the Kyogre, is in the hands of Archie, the leader of Team Aqua. Archie also fuses with the orb and as a result goes insane, as does Pikachu, and orders the Kyogre to sink the island. At the same time, the demonic Pikachu succeeds and wakes up Groudon, The giant Pokemon gets up and starts a huge battle with Kyogre, but the two Pokemon seem to be evenly matched. The kids finally find a way to distract Kyogre, which gives Groudon the chance to defeat him. The orbs leave Archie and Pikachu's bodies and floating in the air they join and then disintegrate. Archie and Pikachu both return to their senses, while the two legendary Pokemon return to their ancient slumber. After this adventure, Ash and his friends arrive in the city of Mossdip and meet Tate and Lisa, the gym leaders of the city, and Ash challenges them to a battle in the gym. Pikachu and Suelo seem to be at a disadvantage, but they quickly realize that the two brothers cannot work together. Team Rocket is once again trying to steal the Pokemon with a giant robot, causing the destruction of the arena. So after our friends defeat them once again, Ash, Tate, and Lisa will decide to fight next to the water this time. Unfortunately for Ash, the gym leaders seem to have regained their team spirit, and their Pokemon are gaining the upper hand. Each of Ash's attacks is countered by the gym leaders with success, but until he thinks of another brilliant strategy. He orders Pikachu to use the Thunder attack on Suelo, creating an electric armor around the team which breaks Lunaton's light screen, and they defeat the opposing Pokemon with Iron Tail and Aerial Ace, giving Ash the victory and giving him the Mind Badge in Fast Forward. Now the guys are heading to Isabelle Island, where May will compete in the next Pokemon contest with Bulbasaur and win her 4th ribbon. Brock's Lobre evolves into Ludicolo. Beautiful Ludicolo, and Ash catches a Snorad. Our heroes have finally arrived in Sunderland City, and Ash is ready to earn his final emblem. He challenges Juan, the gym leader of the city, to a battle, and of course Juan accepts. Ash will initially face him in a double battle, followed by a second one-on-one round with each trainer having 5 Snorad and Pikachu against Sileo and Juan Seeking in the first round. And Ash is surprised at how quickly Juan's Pokemon battle. The Snorad is knocked out and replaced by Corphus, and together Corphus and Pikachu will be able to defeat Sileo and Seeking. In the second round, Ash will send Grovyle to face Juan's Luvdisc. The Luvdisc is a very agile opponent, but also knows the Sweet Kiss attack with which he stuns 2's opponents. Grovyle is now stunned. He manages to break free. Luvdisc knocks him out with a water gun. The Corphus takes its place and will win the second round, only to be faced by Juan's next Pokemon, Viscus. This Suelo defeated Viscus. Juan sends his secret weapon, Milotic, a Pokemon with incredible defenses. Milotic takes down Suelo and then confronts Pikachu. Milotic's recover attack makes this battle even more difficult, but in the end, Pikachu takes advantage of the flooded stadium to score a victory with his powerful electric attack. Ash won his 8th emblem, and it was time to prepare for Hoenn Ligo, which would begin in 3 months from now in Evergrande City. Meanwhile, May learns at the last minute that Hoenn's big festival will start in just 1 month, and she only has 4 of the 5 ribbons she needs. So she enters the Pacific Lock competition and manages to win her 5th ribbon, securing her a spot at the big festival in Hoenn. As our streams go to the city of Slateport for the big festival, May catches a Munchlax, the elusive Morrison, a new friend and rival for the Hoenn League, and our streams learn that T-Magma and Aqua are now disbanded. The Grand Festival has now begun, with many familiar, friendly, and unfriendly faces competing for the cup. May managed to defeat the sneaky Harley and Anthony, but unfortunately lost to True after a very tough battle. True made it all the way to the finals, but unfortunately lost to Robert, who received the Ribbon Cup and became Hoenn's top coordinator. Meanwhile, Snorlax has evolved into Glalie, while he has already managed to perfect the Ice Beam attack. Now Ash and his friends are leaving Slateport and heading to the city of Evergrande. When they finally get there, Ash registers in the league with 8 emblems and will meet a new opponent, Tyson, while also making the difficult but perhaps wise decision to only use his current team in Tranois, instead to use any other of the Pokemon he has in Professor Oak's lab from past areas. So the qualifiers begin. Morrison and Tyson will manage to get through their first fight relatively easily, and now it's Ash's turn. Picasso will win the round relatively easily, so our three trainers are looking forward to Honlig's next draw. In the next round, all battles will be doubles. Ash sends Torquall and Corphus, and his opponent Dominic sends a Svalet and a Tropius. Ace's Torquall goes all out and will unfortunately go down with Tropius in a double knockout. As for the Svalet, its elastic body resists Corphus' attacks, making this battle seem already lost for Ace. Eventually, Corphus will drop the Swallet with a bubble beam shot, literally. Inside the Swallet winning the battle, Tyson and Morrison also won their fights, and now our trainers move on to the next round. In the final round of the qualifiers, Ash sends Gleely and Grovyle against Clark, who has two powerful fire-type Pokemon Charizard and Kilava. Grovyle and Kilava will be knocked out first, while Charizard and Glalie are both fighting for the win. Thanks to the quick thinking of let's just pinball, Gleely will manage to defeat the mighty dragon, while Morrison and Tyson will also qualify. And now, guys, the victory tournament begins with 32 contestants and one winner. Ash's first opponent is Cotty, a brilliant trainer who knows how to take full advantage of the opponent's weaknesses. He starts with Venomoth, but switches to Goldak as soon as he sees Torku Altoa in the arena and predictably knocks him out of the match. Pikachu follows, but Kathy counters with a Dactrio and sends Pikachu out as well. Gleely manages to knock out the Dactrio, but loses right after to a double knockout by Midrio using the Destiny Bone attack. Cotty's Goldak is now facing Corphus and uses its Confusion attack to confuse the little lobster. Luckily, even in confusion, Corphus seems to be a very tough Pokemon. His random attacks manage to defeat Goldak, and a series of battles ensues where Ash knocks out all of Cotty's remaining Pokemon until her mighty Walrein is left. Walrein manages to cast both Swellow and Corphus will freeze the water in the arena, meaning he can no longer dive to avoid Grovyle's attacks, and he takes full advantage of this to strike quickly and extremely hard, giving Ash the trial. The draw for the next round is completed, and to their surprise, Ash and Morrison will face each other in the next round. The next day, Ash and Morrison begin their match, but Morrison does not have the heart to fight his friend, and the Arctic Giraffe loses fast to Corphus. Now send Growlithe against Corphus, but as it was expected to lose this too, Ash angrily demands to know why Morrison isn't fighting, which makes Morrison wake up and realize that his Pokemon are counting on him to do his best. So he gathers himself up and takes out the Swabbert. Both that and the Corphus unleash their strongest attacks, resulting in a double knockout. It's time for a change of battle, and Morrison apologizes to Ash, then Pikachu and Steelix will enter the arena. And we have another melee that has, as a result, he knocks Pikachu out of the match, while Torkoal from Steelix E also shouts to say, now look at Grovyle to defeat the Steel Beast, and he does, but takes a fair amount of damage trying. Morrison's nimble Glagger manages to drop Ash's Pokemon, and soon the Glagger and Swallow will have another double knockout, so the match will be hidden by the Gleelies and Matag, their last Pokemon. As a master of paradoxical strategies, Ash will manage to defeat Matag, making him one of the 8 finalists. Now it's time for Ash and Tyson to face each other. So the battle between them begins, and let's go. Let's see who will make it to the Final Four of the Hoenn League. Unfortunately for Ash Gleely, he will be out very quickly battle, but Tyson's jab won't do against Torquall's attacks, and Tyson will send Hariyama to beat him. Corphus is next, but Hariyama will beat him too. So now we have the half-time break. Morrison tries to wakes up Ash, and so the fight continues with Swallow and Hariyama until Swallow finally emerges victorious. Swallow goes on to beat Tyson's Tonfon, but he lands a powerful Metagross afterwards. So despite Swallow's determination, Metagross will knock it out. Swallow still took some damage, so Ash sends Grovyle to hit Metagross at the weak spot that Swallow created. Ash's Grovyle still can't stop Metagross, but Pikachu comes in and finishes the job. So Tyson sends his ace, Meowth, Tyson's Meowth is very determined and very sweet with his bots and can counter Pikachu's Thunderbolt with a Thunderbolt of his own. The battle ends up being Iron-Tail versus Iron-Tail, and exhausted now, the two Pokémon fall to the ground, and although they get back up, Pikachu is unable to continue. Tyson is crowned the winner of the fight, and Ash, happy to have shown his best, can now start imagining his next big adventure. The Hoenn Championship finally ends with Tyson as the winner, who is awarded the Evergrande Championship trophy. The Hoenn League is over, guys, and our friends have to go their separate ways. Tyson and Morrison set off for new adventures. May and Max return to Petalburg, while Ash and Brock set off for Kanto. Even Team Rocket returns to headquarters and reports to Giovanni, who is not at all impressed with their work. Ash guys are now alone. Brock has gone to Pewter City, and in Viridian City, Ash meets Scott, a fancy guy, where he wants to talk to him about the battle frontier. But first, Ash must prove his worth against the area's new gym leader, a woman named Agatha. Confident enough, Ash sends Pikachu to fight Agatha's Gengar, and despite Ash quickly adapting to her strategy and Pikachu doing his best, it's just not possible to defeat Gengar. However, Agatha is impressed with Ash and reveals to him that he is also a member of the Elite Four, accomplishing the feat that Pikachu managed to last so long. Scotter will send Ash to the battle frontier to face a series of 7 very difficult challenges. With this in mind, Ash returns home to Ballet Town and is greeted there by his mother, father, Mr. Misty and Professor Shook. He hears a car horn and looks outside, only to see that Max and Professor Birch have also come to visit him, while the next morning May arrives as well. Everyone takes this opportunity to discuss their future plans and also meet Ash's other Pokémon from the previous regions. Ash prepares for the Battle Factory and decides to leave Gleely and Torkoal, but his little Phanpy wants to join him on the trip. As for May, she receives a Squirtle from Professor Oak and is now ready to leave with Ash. And guys, of course, they can't leave without Brock, who catches up with them as they go to leave Bullet Town. Together again, our intrepid group of friends sets off in search of another adventure as their journey continues.